Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 89 Garage. Today I'm running a special. All new subscriptions come with a free bowl of soup. Hey guys, well, I'm sick. One of those came back positive on me. And while this is not the worst cold I've ever had, I will say that. More than anything else, this has made me tired. Other than that, it's actually pretty mild. Hope you enjoy the video. This is going to have the tire changer thing that I modified. I don't show you how to do a tire because I removed 4 tires and I put 4 tires back on, and I did it differently every time, just trying to figure out the best method. So, and I didn't film any of it because I didn't know what I was doing. This is what I made. This is what's going to be helpful for the channel. Enjoy the rest of the video.
We now join our regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Oh, jeez. Hey guys, I'm out here messing around, you know. Let's see. I'm back from Disneyland. So I got, we get back and I got to move on to other things, get stuff ready for winter around the house here. And I started looking at my daughter's car, and it needs new tires. I mean, they're okay, if you're driving in the summer, but when it's going to be snowing pretty soon here, they're just a smidge above the tread bar thingamajig. So I went and got her some off of the Facebook Marketplace and got them home, and I started calling around to see how much to mount tires and balance. Everybody wants in the neighborhood of $30 to $40 each. And well, my brain doesn't compute that as being worth it. And for $39.99 I went over to Harbor Freight and I got a manual tire changer. Now they're not perfect. They're not extremely robust like you'd find in a tire shop or anything like that, but they are decent for a DIYer, and there are some modifications you can do to them. And before I even have this thing all the way out of the box, I'm already doing that. There's a duckbill modification where you put it on an arm and goes around. That's what I'm in the process of putting together right now, and it's not even out of the box. So I got a chunk of metal out of my scrap stuff out back. Got a couple pieces of scrap metal out of the scrap bin at work, and I'm starting to, put a plan together. I'd pick that up for you right now, but it's pretty hot. I just cut it out with my plasma cutter, and yeah, it's still pretty hot. But I just I cut it out freehand, obviously. Still don't quite exactly don't know how to run it. I've cut out a few things and that's about it. Just kind of played around. Nothing. This is the first piece I'm actually going to be using for something. But this is actually to mount the duckbill, and it's going to have a couple holes in it. Whew, I'm going to weld that to some pipe. Anyway, I guess it's all right for freehand. We'll put a couple holes in it. Let me show you this duckbill deal that I am speaking of. These are all the bits and pieces that I've got to put it together. But this is the mount and dismount duckbill. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll hold. See, it's still in the box. The only piece I've even taken out is that red piece right there, so I could get me to go through my scrap and find a piece that will fit on that. That's one reason I took it out of there even. And then this here we'll use as a sleeve for that, those pieces. One for in and out, one for up and down. I'm gonna weld a nut on these to stick a bolt in. Probably T-handle the bolts, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just use a wrench. I don't know. This is one of them things that we'll see when we get there. I'm making it up as I'm going along, even though there are a lot of people on the YouTubes that have made stuff like this. You can even buy these kits, but the kits cost, I've seen them like $200, $250. And no sir, we don't pay that. All right, so I took and cleaned this up, drilled the holes out in it to mount this bad boy here, and then we'll just go ahead and weld this on here when the time comes. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'm done for the night.
A few inches later.
All right, I had a guy at work 3D print that for me as a cone to center wheels. Thanks, Randy. If you're watching, thank you very much. I went to put it on this thing, and Harbor Freight hooked me up with, oh, come on, focus. Now, there's a lip right there that I'm gonna have to grind off. I'm gonna get my flat disc out and bring it down a little bit. And I did sand this a little bit smoother because it was just a hair too small. From what I read on the internet, that shaft is supposed to be 42.42 millimeters, and mine's about 42.6 or 7. Anyway, divide and conquer, or whatever you want to do. What was I gonna say? Well, it's Saturday, and the sun is barely coming out. Well, usable sun anyway. So I'm gonna get going on this tire changer. I'm gonna assemble this thing together. I ordered some stuff to anchor it into concrete from Home Depot, and it's not here yet. And I have this pallet. It's been sitting out back for a couple years, and I figure, well, I might as well just try it. Probably a couple lag bolts. The wood's not in the greatest shape, but it'll at least allow me to assemble it and build the duckbill contraption deal. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assemble this really quick. I don't see any reason why this won't take me 10 minutes or less. It's like 4 bolts. I think most of my time's gonna be spent taking all the material, packaging material off of that. So there it is, all put together, mounted to this pallet. It is pretty dang solid on there. I put a couple of 1/2-inch lag bolts in it. Actually, I think the lag bolt's technically a 7/16, but that's the biggest that I had that was that long. It goes all the way into the 2x4 down the middle. By the way, I know it's crooked, but it's because this 2x4 is crooked. If you look, I'm center on both of those bolts. And you know, this is kind of a temporary deal, I think. I don't know if it turns out, maybe I just get a better pallet and go from there, but this is basically the setup here. Then you use this to tighten this. This also is supposed to help you mount and dismount the tire. And you also throw this in here to break the bead. Actually, it looks like I got that backwards. I need to flip that around. But it's real simple to turn that around. Just take this out. It's made to, you know, be disassembled and store away somewhere, which I really like that, to be honest. We're gonna just try it out, and if I need to, I'll put another brace through there, but that's pretty dang solid. Anyway, so I'm gonna get to building here. To build this, you do want to use this outer pipe to go on top of. Yeah, because when you're tightened up and everything, this is what tightens. Well, actually, let's really quick though, I'm gonna check and make sure that cone works okay. So this has got to come off. We're gonna slide that cone. So first we'll put the wheel on, then we'll slide the cone on. There are some other modifications that you can do to this that are pretty sweet too. But I think what I'm doing will, like a lot of people would remove this. This is supposed to just go through one of the holes in the wheel and keep it stable. Let me throw this wheel up. Basically, this thing is built for steel wheels, stuff you don't really care too much about, you know, scratching or whatever. So the way that this comes, you know, this thing here will kind of slide around on you a lot, not really centered. This here will actually keep us centered now. This is what it came with, and that just, you know, slides on top of there and whatever. You know, you can see that would scratch up your wheels. It's not really, you know, that great. Unless you're doing steelies, it's not a big deal. But this here is basically what we're doing with this. See, at this point here, we're going to stay center. So that's the whole point of this here, and that's going to work out sweet. Anyway, I'm going to keep building this. I'm going to bring this stuff over here and just show you a little bit more about what the goal is. I mean, you guys can look this stuff up on the internet if you want, but you might as well just stay tuned right here and see what I'm doing. And honestly, none of this was my idea. It's all stuff that I copied. It's all over the internet. I'm a copycatter. It's like a form of flattery, right? Alright, so this here is going to be the pipe that we mount all the stuff onto, and that needs to be, I don't know, somewhere around this tall. I marked it going from the other way, but this side here I noticed is crooked afterwards. This is actually a fence post, to be honest with you, and it's something I've used for a cheater bar for a long time, but it's going to be sacrificed for this because it's the right size. So I'm going to actually take and maybe try and flatten this out a little bit. Ideally, I'd like to have a metal washer on top of this, so I'm not digging into that, because it will take a little abuse right here, I think. So I don't know, we'll see if I can find something to stick on that. Alright, so we got this cut that right there, and now I've marked this. So this is going to be our arm that comes out, which, you know, doesn't really need to be that long, so I'll probably wind up hacking some of that off of there. But first, I'm going to grind this out, just make sure I got enough before I start cutting on this other end. So I'm going to, I don't know what the best method of me getting that out of there is going to be, so I'm going to start with a flat disc and I'll switch it up if I got to. So I ground that out a little bit, and I'm going to stick this on there so we get a good angle. And I'm going to go ahead and tack that, and then once it's tacked, I'll get it up in this vise, and because this magnet's not strong enough to hold this pipe, you know, from falling. So I got the welder out, and we got this down there. Yeah, we'll get to tacking on this thing. Actually, I need to mark this a little bit, and now I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna mark this right here and grind away some metal a little bit so it's easier to snag onto. I think this is galvanized, by the way, too, so you really want to be out in the open like this if you're doing galvanized. Well ventilated, basically, is what I'm getting at. Since I'm welding, went in and got my leathers on. This is 110 volt MIG from Harbor Freight. It's the titanium Easy Flux 125, and it is a pretty decent welder for the money. Back when I got this, it was still like 150 bucks. Now it's, you know, with inflation, it's around 220, I think. But it's been a great welder. I've upgraded a couple things to it. Upgraded the clamp to a Lincoln clamp. I'm running 35 wire instead of 30. I've, you know, I'm not a good welder, but I think it feels like the weld's better with that. Yeah, I'm a good grinder. Actually, I did pretty decent on the welds overall. It's not coming apart. And yes, I know I need to take some welding classes, and I will someday. But for now, that's not going anywhere. That's going to do exactly what we need it to do. That's what matters. So now I need to get some other pieces. We're going to basically make a T out of this. I'm probably going to make that a little longer than I originally had anticipated. Might bring this into about here and then there type deal. But basically, we're going to put this here, weld a nut here so we can tighten this for in and out. Then I'm going to weld another piece going up and down right here. Not really 100% sure how I'm going to do that quite yet. We're just making this up as we're going. Okay, I got this. Just burned my hand on it, by the way. Got this all welded up. And I'm going to grind that too, just make it flat. Ah, my fingers are killing me. I need to go in and get some stuff on them. All right, there it is. Now we need to figure out, yeah, that's burning cream, by the way. We're gonna go ahead and put a nut on that side. I think I'm gonna do it on this side too, because, you know, I want to spin right here. Just makes more sense to have it over here, and let's not burn our fingers again. Oh, well, there it is, all put together. I kept blowing holes through the pipe, so I kind of sort of, you know, had to make the welds fill in the holes, and as a result, it's ugly, but as long as it works, I don't care. The whole goal of using this duck bill is to protect aluminum wheels. And well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this tire back off and let the air out of it. Not a Ford. Let me drop that. Got that in where it needs to be. Let's see if we can pop it. I'll be dead. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it and then come back. Okay, back on this. Oh, well, maybe I didn't even need to do that. Now I'll just flip the tire over. Okay, now let's see. I think we're broke. Okay, she's all the way broke off. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assemble all this, see how it works. All right, so it worked. And I'm gonna go and grab one of them tires and throw it on. Well, I need to actually take these weights off real quick. I should have done that before I took the tire off. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's pretty dang slick. I mean, I put some soap on it, now it's slick. No, seriously, it's actually pretty cool. This adds a whole new dimension to the 8-9 garage. Now, not that I do this like professionally or anything like that, but I can do my own tires. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is go measure out 4 ounces of beads on my postal scale. We'll dump them inside of here and go from there. One thing that I do think I'm gonna have to go to Harbor Freight and get, there's a clamp on deal for this. Helps inflate them, or not inflate, but it helps to, you know, get your beads, you know, the beads in place. Yeah, that. But yeah, serious. I mean, I had all of this either here or in the scrap bin at work, and I bought this for 15 bucks. Again, Randy, thank you a million times over. Randy got this made for me. And then this here, I just use this to protect the top of that. Since it is 3D printed, I didn't want it to mar up and dig into it. So this is actually just the lid off of a Super 33 tape thing that I cut a hole out of, since I don't have a washer. But after this, I'm gonna see if I can find a washer on Fastenal or Granger, something like that. But please, you know, don't flame me for my garbage welds. This thing works great. Yeah, I don't care, flame me, go ahead. It works. All right, so we got one of them all done. I actually ran over to Harbor Freight and got this here because you kind of need all the hands you can get when you're trying to maneuver that thing to snap the bead. This actually clamps onto the valve stem and makes it so you have a free hand. Okay, well, I got all 4 all done up. Got this up in the air now. I got my cross brace on the jack so I can do both at the same time. So my impact is over there. Got to pop those caps off. We'll throw these on and see how it looks. It is going to be taller by about an inch, but that'll be all right. Okay, there they are, mounted. Well, I think they're balanced with beads. So that's the comparo for you. What it looked like before and after. These are off an 05 Mustang, maybe 06, I don't remember. But they were given to me to put on one of my cars, and the offset is way off and it don't work. But the offset works well for escapes, so that's where they are. There's our episode for today, and you know, I'm sorry that I didn't have much to do with Fox bodies, but it will in the future. The 8.9 needs tires pretty bad. I didn't even drive it that much this year, but the little amount I did notice, yep, she needs tires. So I'm gonna be getting some 225 50/16s. I'm probably gonna, it's usually my go-to on those. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and accept this word of thanks. Peace out.